Hey, it's Annie. Today I'm going to share a tutorial full face look. I'm going to do my brows off camera. I've shared a couple videos on how to do that. It would be a really long video if I just the brows alone. One of the things I do lately, this is my favorite foundation. It's the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet. I love this foundation. I've been using it since the spring and I love it on my skin. It works really, really well. I still have plenty left. I bought a backup a while ago because I thought maybe I'd go through it. You just use so little of it and it's lasting. And then I use with this, I apply my Angela Caglia Luxurious Face Oil, which contains meadow foam, seed oil, Bertolli oil, I'm probably saying that wrong, and sweet orange oil. Those are some of the ingredients that are in here. I love this. It's expensive, but it lasts me and I love what it does for my skin. That's what I do. I just put it on the back of my hand, just a little bit. Then I take it, I don't even drop it. It just drops all by itself. And then I'll take and I'm gonna use this blender today. This is my Morphe blender, sponge. It's not a beauty blender, it's a sponge, it's a makeup sponge. I normally do not like these like bouncy ones. This is considered for me a bouncy one. And I really am liking this. So this is right up there with my beauty blender. So if you're looking for one and the beauty blender is, you know, out of your budget, it's a great option now. I don't know how long it's gonna last, we'll see. My beauty blender, I can go a year. Yeah, you're not supposed to, but I have gone a year. I take good care of mine. I haven't had any breakouts because of it or anything like that. So I go longer than what they say you should, but we'll see. So far, I've been happy with. Like I said, I like to use a sponge. Some people like to use a brush. The problem I have with brushes, and except for the Clarisonic brush, I feel like I'm pulling at my skin and I don't like to do that. So what I like about a blender, a sponge, is that I'm bouncing it on my skin, I'm pushing it in. It doesn't look like it, but I am. I'm pushing it in my skin. Especially areas that you might have larger pores, you really want to push it in those areas and you will see, you'll get even better coverage with your foundation when you do that. So you don't have to use one of those primers. They have primers for pores, and really if you just do this, it really makes a big difference. Usually I put my concealer on and then my foundation. It doesn't matter though. You can do it the way I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to use my concealer. This is my holy grail. I love it. This is from Lancome. I'll show you really quickly in case you're not familiar. Is it? No, it isn't worn out yet. It's the Effaceurs. It's just the only concealer I found that works for me, that just doesn't settle into all my lines and creases and wrinkles and all that. I just take like a tiny little dab and I just go right here. I just go right where I need it. I don't put it all under my eye because if I do, I don't need it there and it'll just crease into my lines. So then I just take my blender and I just blend it really good. And I'm gonna look close up in a sec. I'm gonna do the same thing with this eye. Just very little. This will last me at least a year. I think the last tube lasted me longer than that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the price of stuff. But if that's on your budget, look for one that works for you and just apply your concealer where you really need it. So I'm just gonna look really close here because I wanna make sure that I'm getting it. Now, one thing I do after I blend it there is I go in the corner here because I have a little bit of redness there. I just don't wanna take and glop it all over because if I do, it's too much. It settles in my lines. I just can't do it. I mean, some people can do it. Even at our age, I've seen women do it and it looks great on them. I just personally can't. Another thing I don't do, I've said this before, but I'll share it again, is I do not powder under my eyes because when I do, it just settles. So I'm just gonna take another concealer, and that's another tip I wanna give you, is just because a concealer works under your eyes, it doesn't mean it's gonna work. Not all concealers are the same. Some concealers are really good for concealing flaws and redness, and other concealers are really good at concealing under your eyes. This concealer from Kat Von D, I really like this. I've been using this for several years, and this again will last me a long time, but because I use very little. I can't use this under my eyes. If I put this under my eyes, it's too drying and it just makes my fine lines look worse. But this is really, really good for me, for concealing my scarf or concealing a little bit of redness. It just works really, really well. Something else that I started using, color corrector. So I will use it on my nose because I have some areas on my nose, I don't know if you can see it on camera, that has a little bit of redness. And it's just a mineral powder, but I like that it has sunscreen in it. This isn't the best brush to use. I like the brush that it actually comes with. And I'm just gonna put some more around where I just put that concealer, and just right up here I have a little bit of redness. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set my foundation. I always like to use a little bit of powder, just using my Charlotte Tilbury, but use what works for you. And I don't go really heavy in that. That's why I like this powder, because it's not really heavy. I want to still be able to see my skin through it. I want to see the shine through it. I don't want to cover all of that up. Then I want to go in and I want to add a little bit of warmth to my face, because can you tell I'm pretty white? And I'm going to take my bronzer from Chanel, and I'm just going to stick my brush in there. So I lightly use the brush. If you feel like when you're applying your bronzer it's moving around too much, you can tap it and bounce your brush on as well. I've done that before. But you want to look for a brush like this that's kind of angled like that. It just makes it so much easier to apply where you need it, I think. So I'm just going and I'm just buffing it out. Then I want to add just a little bit more glow. I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood filter. You can use this all under your face and you'll get a nice glow. It's not sparkly or anything like that. It has like a little bit of a shimmer, but it's so like, when you look at someone's face, if you saw me close up, you wouldn't look at me and think, wow, you have shimmer face. You know what I mean? It's like really, really fine. So what I like to do with this is I'll just put a little bit right here, just 3 dots. And then I take my blender and I'm just gonna tap it. And I'm gonna tap it up here. So then when I turn my head, you'll see I'll have a little bit of shimmer up there too. I discovered this tip from Nikki Tutorials shared a video, and it was Rihanna's makeup artist that shared that tip where she puts a highlighter there and brings it up there, and it's like, oh my gosh, it is so pretty. So I just think that's really, really pretty. Can you see when I turn my head how I've got that nice little youthful glow? So now I'm gonna go in with my Chanel blush, and I love this color. It's just a nice soft, kind of a earthy tone, kind of a mauve color, I guess. And I'm gonna take my brush, and what I like to do is I always like to apply my blush up higher. I just feel like if I go too low, it pulls my face down. I really need to lift my face up. It's just an illusion. So I apply my blush right up here, and I'm really use it like going gentle on the brush. You know what I mean? Like I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. I'm just going really lightly and just swirling it around and just keeping it up high. Like that. Really, really pretty. Next, I'm gonna go, before I do my eyes really quickly, I am gonna do my lips, and I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. It's my favorite lip liner ever. So what I like to do is I like to line my lips first because I have uneven lips, and then I always fill my lips in. What this does is 2 things. 1, it just helps prevents my lipstick from bleeding, and 2, as my lipstick wears off, I'm still gonna have some color on my lips, so it's not gonna look like everything got wiped off. This doesn't work with every single lip pencil, so you've got to find one that works really well. Now I'm gonna go in with a lipstick. Now, really quickly, if you don't wanna wear lipstick, and you just want to wear like something like this and throw gloss over it, it would look really pretty. So if you find a really nice lip liner, you could do that. You can line your lips, fill it in, and then just add a lip liner on top of it. I am going to go in with, let's see what this color is. I think it's Bitch Perfect. Yes, I'm going to do Bitch Perfect today by Charlotte Tilbury. And then my staple is my Marc Jacobs lip gloss, the Enamored, and today I'm going to be using Sugar Sugar. It's just one of my favorites. If you've been watching me for a while, you're probably sick and tired of hearing me say it, but you know that whatever I share on camera, I actually use. I'm gonna do my brows last, and I'll do my lashes off camera as well. So I'm gonna go in with Emily's palette right here. I am gonna go in first with the color Midwest. See that? So, as always, and I'm gonna have to tuck my hair just a little bit there. As always, I always relax my eyes because my eyes are slightly hooded, and you can see all that skin up there? I just made it worse by doing that. But that is why I always relax my eyes when I apply my eyeshadow. I don't go like this because if I hold my eyes open like that and then I let it relax, you're never going to see the color. So always do that. If you have hooded eyes, you would just want to look directly into your mirror, and that's what I'm doing. So just make sure that you're going in there and really blending out each color. I always use a separate brush for that. I use a crease brush and then I use a separate blending brush because I really, really, really like to smoke it out and blend it, you know. I like it to look seamless. Now I'm gonna go in with Dues Paid right there. Let me see that color. So these are kind of like earthy tones here. This one's more of I mean, they're both kind of rust. This has a little bit more brown in it. It looks orangey on the monitor, but those are the two colors that I'm using. So if you have colors that are similar to this and you don't have that palette, then you can do this with me. So I'm going to take that color, and now I'm going to get a little bit right here, and then I'm going to bring it up just like that. I'm not bringing it in very far. I'm just mostly on the corner there. And then I'm gonna just blend it out. I love how she has the names are like easy to read. I wish every palette was like that. It's really nice for people like me that wear reading glasses. It really is. Especially when you're doing videos, it's just so nice. I wish every palette was like this. I'm gonna go in with my E45 Sigma brush this time. And I am going to use the color, I'm trying to remember what I did the other day. I'm going to use the color Prayer. And I'm going to put it right on the end here, bring it up, but I'm going to bring it in a little bit more, like right in here. See how I'm doing that? So it's like almost to the middle of where my eye is. I don't want to bring it too far over, but just more than just on the corner. And then I'm bringing it up. Then I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to blend that out. So you just want the edges to be really soft. These are so pretty though. I just love, love, love these colors. Now I want to go in and add a little bit of a shimmer. I'm going to go in with my E25 Sigma brush. I'm going to spray it with my MAC Prep and Prime. And I'm going to go in with Top Story. Right there. It's a nice, really pretty shimmery shade. And I like to use those because it just wakes up my eye. And I'm not just going to leave it right there. I'm actually going to bring it over almost to the end, not quite. So it kind of fades out. And I'm just tapping it in there too. I'm not like swishing it around. I'm just tapping it in. Can you see the difference between those two eyes? See how this eye just looks more awake and alive, and that one's kind of like, it's okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to tap it on. I'm going to go in with Prayer and Dues Paid. I'm just going to tap my brush in there like this. And this I'm using, I don't have the name of it, it's worn off, but it's from It Cosmetics, and I believe it's a smoky eyeliner, smoky, I don't know. But you want to put it right on your lash line. I'm going to do the same over here. I have to add a little bit more. And then what I do is I wipe off my brush. And then I want to go and just lightly soften it up a little bit more. I'm going to use the NARS today, and this is the NARS Larger Than Life Long Wear Liner. This is really, really good. Now, one thing that happens to me, it doesn't matter which one I use, is after I lined it, if I close my eyes right away, it's not totally dry and I will get transferred. So I'll take a Q-tip and just wipe it off. But throughout the day, I usually don't get that with this. So just a little heads up. So what I like to do is I like to go right underneath my waterline, or right on my waterline. So right underneath my lashes. I always like to use a little bit of a liner. And this is the kind of liner you want to use. You don't want to use like a liner like this, like a felt liner. You never want to do that. You want to use an actual pencil. You want to use something that's has a little bit of a creamy texture to it too. You don't want a really stiff eye pencil either, especially when you're sticking in here. You don't want to scratch your eye. That's why I like this too. So I'm just lining this, and then I'm gonna make sure that I scrub it in. Now, once you do this, you don't really have to do any kind of liner on top. I am going to use a liner because the liner that I've been using, I feel like it's been helping with my lash growth. I use Revitalash, but I feel like since using this, it's boosting it more. And this is from Physicians Formula, and it's their 2-in-1, I believe it's called 2-in-1 Eye Boosting liner, and it has, like I said, it has a serum in it. So I'm going to use that, but you don't have to, because you see the difference already with this eye and that eye. See how that looks? My lashes look thicker. You can just leave it like that and just put some mascara on. You don't have to do any kind of a liner on top of it if you want a lighter look. And when I do use that liner, I'm going to do a really thin line. So let me do that really quick so I can, because this is going to be a long video, and then I can go off camera and finish my eyes. So I'm just going to take this, and I go from the corner, and I'm just working in, and I'm doing a really thin line. When I get to the end, I always have to go backwards. So that is it. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some of this Morphe Continuous Mist on my face. It didn't spray. Okay, hold on. Let's do it again. Take two. Oh my gosh. So I like this because it's really, I mean, it's like, it's such a fine mist. I don't really think it keeps my makeup on longer, but what I like is I feel like it gives my face a little bit more of a glow, and I like that. So that's the last step. That's all I do. I'm going to do more looks with that palette, so stay tuned for more looks, and I'll just do an eye look next time. So I'll do some different eye looks only with that, but I just wanted to do the overall look because a lot of you were asking me about everything that I used, and that's what I was wearing in that other video, so I just wanted to share that with you. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really want you to know how thankful I am to each and every one of you for commenting, liking my videos, sharing my videos, and I am so thankful to each and every single one of you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye.